Hello, you're watching DD India and we're back once again with a new edition of Wellness Watch, a show that explores the nuances of illnesses on mankind. In this era where our phones rarely leave our hands amidst never-ending notifications, it is very ironic that the very technology or tools designed to keep us connected often leave us overwhelmed, inadequate and anxious. Now, this has led to a sinister phenomena called digital anxiety. Whether it is the pressure to respond to the messages instantly or the fear of missing onto social media or the stress of constant online surveillance, digital anxiety often overpowers it, isn't it? It is not just screen time, it is shaping how we think, feel and interact. As we fall prey to this never-ending menace each day, understanding and addressing digital anxiety has become all the more important than ever before. Today in Wellness Watch, we discuss digital anxiety and detox. I'm Preeti Kaur. With increasing use of digital devices, concerns about their impact on mental health have grown. The intervention of a digital detox is necessary for reducing anxiety and depression across diverse demographic backgrounds. Here's a detailed report on digital anxiety and digital detox as its cure. Take a look.
Digital technologies are now integral to daily life, and the world's population has never been more interconnected. Digital devices and platforms dominate our daily lives, offering unprecedented convenience and access to information. In a world powered by technology, digital freedom is a boom. But if misused, the same can have a negative impact on your mental health, called digital anxiety. Therefore, antisocial is the new detox. Detox is not just about eliminating toxins from the body, but it is also resetting of the mind. The constant connect leads to a state of stress, overwhelm or unease caused by excessive screen time, social media pressure and information overload. Digital anxiety manifests in various forms, including the feeling of being compelled to constantly check your phone, social media accounts or email, even when it interferes with daily activities, work or social interactions. A person experiencing digital anxiety will constantly feel the need to stay connected to devices in order to avoid missing out on important updates, events, or social interactions. It also leads to experiencing negative emotions or diminished self-esteem when comparing yourself to others on social media. It is often caused by the constant influx of information from social media and digital platforms. The solution, or as termed by social media users, the Sululu to this is digital detox. The international disconnection from digital devices has emerged as a vital practice for mental well-being. Now let's understand, what is this digital detox and what are its benefits? For a specific time frame, a person should avoid using digital gadgets that seem to have become essential to daily life. This concept aims to internationally reduce or eliminate the use of digital services. It reduces stress, anxiety and depression and enhances mental clarity, focus and productivity. A digital detox can help gain a restful and rejuvenating sleep. Reducing screen time also increases the body's physical activity. With devices more integrated into daily life than ever, a structured detox is essential for balance. Implementing a digital detox requires intention and structure. To begin with, one needs to get a clarity on the role of technology and media play in your life. It's very essential to schedule a break from your phone. There are also apps that help you track your usage and minimize the same as per need. It is best advised not to use your device just before bedtime and additionally disconnect it before sleeping. One must set boundaries by turning off unnecessary notification on your devices. The need to break free starts with a small, intentional steps. It's about creating a space where you can breathe without a device demanding your attention. The path to detach from the devices seems long and bumpy, but will make you feel calmer and more present. One needs to identify the need for digital detox in their daily life. When your phone keeps pulling your attention and takes over your mental consciousness, choose digital detox. The blue light emitted by screens disrupt the body's natural sleep cycle and causes strain and discomfort to the eyes. Excessive screen time often leads to a sedentary lifestyle, further increasing the risk of obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and musculoskeletal problems like back and neck pain. One must choose digital detox when the body shows signs of anxiety, irritability, or boredom when away from devices. A digital detox is recommended when you feel that technology is negatively impacting your physical or mental well being, relationships, or productivity. It's not about permanently abandoning technology, but about using it more consciously and intentionally and regaining control over your digital habits. Our devices are both lifelines and leashes. By weaving digital detox into your life, you are not rejecting technology, but choosing when it serves you and when to set it aside. Bureau Report, TT India.
Digital anxiety is the psychological distress caused by excessive and constant engagement with digital devices. Tags, texts, voice notes, replies, new emails, retweets, new comments, new followers, a steady stream of pings, calls out, vying for attention almost as soon as the new day begins. Studies show 86% of adults constantly checking devices and 72% are feeling always on stress. Adolescents are particularly vulnerable. A WHO report reported 11% adolescents showed problematic social media behavior. Today in Wellness Watch, we ponder over the following questions. What is digital anxiety? How does it differ from general anxiety? What is the impact of digital anxiety on well-being? We also discuss the symptoms of digital anxiety on different age groups. Can digital detox actually help? And we also take a look at medical options available in India. Digital anxiety management in India involves both governmental and private sector initiatives using digital tools like apps and teleconsultations to address mental health gaps. India's government, with initiatives like the Manas platform, is leveraging digital technology to enhance mental well-being across the population. Also, the country boasts of some pocket-friendly digital detox retreats that are not just providing rejuvenation but also peace of mind. To help us understand digital anxiety better and how severe it can get, we're joined in by guests in the studio. We're joined in by Dr. Rajesh Sagar, Professor in the Department of Psychiatry in AIIMS. And we're also joined in by Dr. Uma Kumar. She's Professor and Head of Department of Rheumatology in AIIMS, New Delhi. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us this afternoon on Wellness Watch. Dr. Sagar, to begin with, I would want you to explain to our viewers what is digital anxiety. We did show a report to our viewers, but in simple terms, help us understand how does it differ? How does digital anxiety differ from general anxiety?
Yeah, nowadays I think we are talking a lot about digital anxiety as such, because what we need to understand, because the technology is there. I think this is something of this after 21st century, we know that this is there. And of course, we cannot live without a technology or digital world. So it is important to know that whenever there is excessive use, persistent use, if there is a related uneasiness or some kind of restless, some kind of anxiety, so this is leading to discomfort and the problems which what we may call as a digital anxiety, though it's not a clinical term as such or clinical diagnosis. But this is basically the anxiety. Anxiety means uneasiness or discomfort, or where you are not comfortable with the self, and which is related to the digital excessive use, or whatever you may call excessive use of mobile phones, or excessive use of involved with the gaming and so on. Whole lot of things like social media and so on. So you can see now multiple things have come, like we call as a screen time use. Different terms are being used, which is leading to anxiety and apprehension and emotional problems, and any we can see which are related to digital technology. But at the same time, how it's different from the other normal anxiety means basically there it's not related to digital technology use. Here digital anxiety is specifically related to digital technology. But important thing is that nowadays what all like education, it has to be something in the healthy promotion of use of digital technology, because when it becomes excessive, and we can discuss about there are different diagnoses have come in psychiatry, what we call as an internet gaming disorder or gaming disorder and all, which when it becomes excessive, and now excessive means there is a, the one is a preoccupied or with that. Not only what they are doing, that young people, they are not meeting people, their grades are going down, they have a problem with the sleep and so on. So there are definite criteria to make a diagnosis, which are and there are ways of helping, we just heard, and we can talk more about this. But the thing is, digital anxiety is something which is uneasiness, discomfort, and where you are not in a way connecting with the people, and there are many issues related to the anxiety as such.
All right. To what extent can digital anxiety hamper a person's well-being? Now, sir is talking of how digital anxiety is different from anxiety. But ma'am, I would want you to explain to us, can digital anxiety also lead to, a general anxiety? Because today on social media, negative content is available, very easily. A person, we did tell our viewers that digital anxiety is the fear of missing on. The fear of, online surveillance and related to the gadgets or related to the screens. But at the same time, when a person goes through the negative content on a screen, on social media, does that also lead to change in emotions, that also lead to imbalance of emotions in a person, further leading to general anxiety?
Yeah, absolutely. Logically, if you think, it's very difficult to differentiate between general anxiety and anxiety occurring because of use of gadgets. Anxiety is anxiety, and the sequence of events or the reactions, be it chemical reaction within the body or metabolic processes, they are equally getting affected. And if you talk about the way it manifests, so it could be just for that, it's important to understand what health is. Health is all about physical, mental, social, right? All three components get affected with this use of digital technology, which is going to be there, and we all need it. So as you were talking about detox, which you will take up later,
Yes.
for sure, so that's important. And if we talk about what component of human life is getting affected, yes, it's all three components, and people are developing physical inability to perform tasks, their performance is going down, and they are getting instant pleasure with the use of mobiles or any gadget for that matter. And what happens when you are exercising or interacting with people, those pleasures are sustained and they have long lasting effect. And here what is happening, they are using it, getting instant gratification and the pleasure, and after that they are again going into that so-called negativity or the world of their own. The virtual world is there. They're not living in the reality. So I would say that it's very, very dangerous, and we are getting, there was a study which says if the screen time was more than 5 hours a day, 70% of the adolescents had some feeling of, have that suicidal tendency. This has been proven in various studies. So you can understand the seriousness of the current use of technology, the way people are using.
Dr. Sagar, can a person overcome digital anxiety by himself, or is it always a need to see a specialist or see a doctor? Because, screen time today, we are living such fast-paced lives. Most of the work is done online. Half of the day is spent, more than half of the day is spent checking notifications, what work you have to do, how it has to be planned. So everything is online, the technology-driven world we are living in. Having said that, it is very difficult for a person to differentiate whether he is doing that for gratification or it is work-related. This work-related excuse is common that can be, made. So when is it time for a person to see a doctor or a specialist as you put forth the symptoms, and also can a person himself overcome digital anxiety?
That's a good point. Basically, it's always important to differentiate.
Yes.
And that is why the professional help is required. At what stage, I think we need to know that. If we have to think, like if anyone himself or herself or anyone in the family, if there is a persistent preoccupation with the digital use, which is lasting for about 6 months or 1 year, which is continuous phenomena, and there is a preoccupation, there is a lack of control is there, and you are using it, the time is, you are increasing day by day. That is what we call as a tolerance as such. or what we call as a withdrawal symptom. If you are not using it, like say for example, many parents come to my clinic where they say that if we are not allowing to use, then he becomes anger,
Yes.
he becomes depressed, he
Aggressive.
becomes anxious. So then that is a problem. So persistent use, lack of control, there is a tolerance, increasing time, then withdrawal symptom, and you are using it knowing that the harmful say consequences are there. And let me tell you, there are instances where young people are coming to our clinic saying that he does not take food at all. His food is there, such occupied in the games and the computer use, and not going to school also, not studying also, not going out and meeting people. So there is a dysfunction in the social and academic performance. So then it becomes a problem, because and there are certain we need to know that there are many issues also, like you are start comparing in the social media, you are in a way there is a body image disturbances also. So there are something
Different
which are
kinds of
so
pressures.
which are hidden at times, and they try to compare how many likes I have got, how many so that preoccupation is there, which is bothering them. And also it is also important to understand to when we are talking in the digital related problem, then the term which is being used, digital in the
Anxiety.
inverted comma dementia, because what happens, you are multitasking, you are doing so your focus is not there, your attention is not there, you lack in concentration. So many young people come and say, I'm not able to focus now, I'm not able, because they are into so many things. So which again is affecting, because mind is our the brain is not akin to having so many information at a time. It's always using our because stimulation is
yes,
there.
it's a very important point which you've put, sir. Ma'am, if a person decides to get himself digitally detox, from where should he start? Because as sir puts forth, we are so occupied with online media, with social media, digital, we are digitally so tied up. How does a person start with digital detox? Does that mean that I will not touch any screen, I will not touch any gadget altogether? Is that what a detox means? How does a person go about?
No, that's not possible. You tell a person not to use mobile or be on the computer, which is just impossible.
How is a detox
Right.
started?
Person has to realize that he is doing it overly. Right. He has to realize that he has to perform his activity or the job or the work one is doing, and beyond that even has to restrict hours of use of digital media. That has to come from within. Right. What happened many a time, an individual knows that there are adverse effects to the use of this particular technology, but they decide that okay, fine, I'll not engage in it for a long period of time, but still they get addicted to use and start. So everybody will have to help them, the family and the friends, and and the individual himself can get into physical activity, can get into those yoga, doing regular, getting into sleep, knowing that he doesn't have to use all these devices just before sleep, because blue light is going to affect the secretion of the melatonin, which is a hormone important for sleep. So it's so that he gets adequate sleep. So 8 hours of sleep is important, physical activity is important, then performing his routine work. If as a student has to perform his homework and all that, that is so that he is not lagging in his daily schedule. Similarly, for the employee or the person who is working in offices, has to have that habit. And the first, and I think that most important thing is that individual will have to decide for himself or herself that this is it, and now I have to get into the regular normal routine. And there are various platforms which I'm sure Dr. Sagar would be talking about, and you did mention those in your capsule. So one is not able to cope up and is not able to do things himself or herself, can always approach the doctor, and so that the needed help can be provided to the individuals. But the voice has to come from within, that is actually endangering their life.
All right, sir, does it also ever happens that if a person decides to digitally detox himself, he will perhaps virtually have, eventually have nothing to do? Does that really happen? Because from work to leisure to, passing your time, everything is done on gadgets today. So if a person decides to detox himself, does that also lead to some other kind of anxiousness in him? Or
Not
for that
really.
matter, in simple
That's a
terms, if
good-
I could,
yeah,
if I
yeah,
could
yeah.
put,
No.
does digital detox
will-
also have side effects?
I think the important thing is what we need to know that we always, what happens sometimes one has to see oneself that what are the cues by which you are into the digital technology.
Yes.
Like say for example, the boredom which is there. Okay, I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling low today. So now I should go and have some time with the. So it is important first to prevent it before we go for the detox. So one of the parameter for detox is first to know what your cues are there. What are things which lead to your excessive use of digital technology, and if you are able to handle that, and there are different methods of doing it. Like say for example, if the cue is coming, your urge is coming, then you can read a book or watch a TV or talk to a friend or do some physical activity. So you have to handle that cue which is coming, which is in a way the precipitating event which lead to this. If you are able to
Right.
handle it, then the detox, because this is not something, it's all or none. Most important thing is the control phenomena. Like that you make a time, you make a schedule, you write on the board, okay, I will use for half an hour, or I will use for 1 hour, not more than that, and someone can, and that is why the role of parents are important.
Yes.
That they can control that. So it's not that in the detox, and maybe what is important, what always we say, make a time, like say for example dinner time, where all are sitting together on the dining table, no one is using a mobile phone, so make a time slot, that this time, or when you are entering this room, bedroom, I will not use it because it has a consequences related to sleep and all. So it is not difficult. You just have to make a timetable, make certain time in your day where you are not using it, because I will tell you there are many also who are do not have a WhatsApp account, and
Yes.
because what we have to understand, it is like a information overload all the time. We mind also needs a rest sometimes. We have to infodemics, so it's important, it's a doable, because it's not all the time you have to do it. Just see that what are the times. And also we did not talk about it because for young people there is a lot of things happening, something like cyber bullying. A lot of people are
Yes.
hurt because of that. Some comment has come, not only one to one, it has gone to the whole class, whole school. So which is bothering them and which can be very, very disturbing. It can lead to a lot of emotional problems and to the tune of almost like a self-harm and other things. So we have to be very, very sensitive about it. We need to be aware about it, and what always we say before we ask for help, self-help is the most important thing.
Right.
Everyone can help
Yes.
oneself, and there are methods of doing it.
So the
If
role
you-
of the family, the
If
society
not,
is
then
also
you can take us
important.
professional
Yes.
help.
All right, ma'am. When a person decides to get himself or to digitally detox himself, is detox done for a particular time span? For how long can should a detox be done so that the person does not get addicted to digital devices again? Is there a time span? Say for 1 week, if you resolve not to use a digital device or spend more time on screens for 1 week, is it that the body adapts itself like that, or going back again to the same device will hamper your body to a larger extent?
I think this time period can vary depending upon what is the severity of the problem
addiction.
which addiction individual has for these digital technologies. And as for any addiction, it happens quite frequently that when individual goes back to that circle or in that atmosphere, then try to kind of that thing attracts him and again
Yes.
indulges in that. So I don't think there could be any time frame. That's only about one has to understand and follow it regularly. Yeah.
Yes.
So knowing the nuances of using technology for a longer period of time and then getting addicted. So helping himself and the people in surrounding, that is going to help. But I don't think any time period is going to really put an individual in that category of having the safe zone.
So today we are discussing digital anxiety. We have Dr. Sagar with us and we have Dr. Uma Shankar explaining to us what digital anxiety is and how severe it can get for an individual. To get more clarity for our viewers, we'll have a quick rapid fire round, a quick myth buster round where I request our doctors to give very crisp answers. Dr. Sagar, first to you, digital anxiety is the same for everyone. Is it so?
No. For children, adults, elderly, it may be a different thing.
Dr. Uma, one has to give up all screens altogether to detox.
Not really. One can use it, not misuse or abuse it.
Digital detox is a guaranteed quick fix for anxiety. Dr. Sagar.
It's an important step for the management.
If one is anxious online, it means he is weak or too sensitive. Is it so, Dr. Uma?
Not really. One is not weak just because he's using these technologies for a longer period of time. Yes, but should not use it.
Digital detoxing is boring and restrictive.
Not really, not really. It can be exciting also.
One weekend offline will cure my burnout. Is it so, Dr. Uma?
Not really, not at all.
So it's a choice which a person has to make and he has to be regular with that. On that note, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us on Wellness Watch this afternoon and helping us understand digital anxiety and what consequences it can have on the well-being of a person. So after the discussion, we did understand that almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you, says Annie Lamott. By lowering stress and anxiety, strengthening relationships and increasing awareness, a digital detox can have significant psychological advantages that improve your mental health. Although the results of a digital detox can differ from person to person, it helps you reconnect away from technology. It enhances your general well-being and provides a new and healthy perspective. Remember, you have to unplug so that you can reconnect. Don't be stressed if your screen time is down, because at that time, your real life moments are up. With that note, we end this edition of Wellness Watch. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.